Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Watch and Roll. Today we will take a look at the new Protrek PRW60T-7ACR. Just in case you didn't know, Protrek is a line designed for outdoor activities with some features that will help you in the field, and probably in a surviving scenario could be your best friend or second best tool. This is the downside from the previous Protreks. In case you didn't know, the ABC sensors require enough space to implement inside the watch. That's why many Protreks tend to be on the bigger size. And thanks to Casio making better tech, now they're able to reduce the size of the watch. The PRW60 adopts a new structure called cross-frame structure, realizing miniaturization of the spring in the crown, integration of the case and case back connecting the band. Let's talk about measurements. The case is basically a 42mm, but from the sensor to the crown is approximately 48mm. The dial itself is a 35mm. 13mm thickness, lug to lug is 50, and a 22 lug width that is not integrated, so you will be able to put any aftermarket straps, but beware, I already tried it to put it on the NATO and it seems too tight for a NATO. You might be able to use a thin NATO, but regular NATOs are too thick for it. The bracelet is 22mm like I already mentioned, and it tapers down to 20mm, making it more appealing. Let's talk about materials. The bracelet, the case back, and the buttons except the crown, which is resin, are titanium. As much as I know, it's not a high-intensity titanium of Oceanus or Grand Seiko. This titanium is a little darker in color, but still brighter than regular titanium. Naturally, regular titanium is prone to scratches, but is super light. It's highly corrosion resistant and strong. The case is resin, and it seems to be painted in a gray color to match the titanium. The bezel is stainless steel, the dial is made of some type of transparent plastic needed for the solar panel, and the apply indices seems to be made of aluminum, and it has new bright Casio's proprietary lume on the hands hour markers, and for the first time I've seen on a Casio on each minute marker. Let's talk about finishing. Satin case back, that if you notice the lugs where the bracelet connects are part of the case back itself. Very useful to give service or repair, because once the case back is disconnected, they do not have to deal with the bracelet. The case back has the Protrek logo and the information laser marked. Satin buttons with a coin edge like finishing to provide grip. A similar situation with the screw down crown, that is the smart crown, that is signed with this lug indicator. The bezel is a satin on the top marked with time zones and high polished on the side, giving it a bit of sophistication besides being a tool watch, allowing the user to wear it on other settings other than camping or being in the field. The bracelet is a satin finish all around with the high polished inner sections, solid end links, and a machine clasp, making it feel more substantial than entry-level watches. It has 3 micro adjustments with the gray section on this link providing the clasp to sit, making it feel more integrated. The duffel button deploying clasp are polished, and it has a Protrek laser sign clamshell, providing an extra peace of mind that your watch will not open by accident when you're wearing it. The bracelet uses a pin and collar system, which is perfect for titanium because titanium screws tend to back up more easy. Not only titanium, also in steel, screws tend to back up more easy than a pin and collar system. Grand Seiko and Patek Philippe implement the pin and collar system. Yes, it's a little cheaper to produce, but both recognize that are more secure, and that's the reason why they use it. Now let's talk about the features. This watch has the following technologies: solar charging, a solar panel that takes light and converts it into energy. It even charges with limited light and fluorescent light. The multi-band 6, the tiny shock-resistant antenna constructed from an amorphous material, achieves a high sensitivity reception of standard radio waves, securing time information. There is 6 atomic towers in the world, and this watch will connect every day to one of those 6 towers to readjust, providing deadly accuracy to the second. Not just the time, the month, year, day, and date will never be wrong. The smart axis. This analog control system combines multi-mission drive, which assigns multiple functions to individual hands with an electronic crown switch. The wartime selection is conducted with simple crown operation, providing quick access to the times in the world's major cities. It has a multi-motor tech, meaning that each hand has its own independent motor. Normal watches have only one motor moving all the hands at the same time on a gear train. This watch also has a tough movement, which consists of a hybrid mount construction where the parts are laid out based on detailed calculations of their materials and strengths. The result is a movement structure with improved shock resistance, auto hand home position correction that detects and confirms detection of the hands once every hour. In the unlikely event that the hand is slipped, it is returned to the proper position automatically. The triple sensor version 3, which is altimeter, barometer, compass, and thermometer, and a 100-meter water resistant. It has an STN LCD display, which means super twisted pneumatic display that gives better visibility, a neon auto illuminator backlight LED, and the rest of the functions that are basic Casio functions that you find in almost all Casio watches. Next, I will walk you through the functions. The first I would like to talk is the power saving mode. If left in the dark for 1 hour between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., the second hand will rest in the 12 o'clock position. If left in the dark room for 1 week, the hands will rest in the 12 o'clock position. There is 2 designated buttons right here. This one designated for the compass, this was designated for the altimeter. So let's go to the compass. So you can see the second hand will point north. Next is the altimeter. If I press this button, it will go back to the home screen, and if I press again, it will go to barometer. So this is the barometer reading in hectopascals. Next is the temperature. So this will give you a temperature, and of course you have to take it off and leave it on the table for 10 minutes for the watch to get adjusted to the room temperature. Then you can press the button and you can have a more accurate reading. The next one is the recall mode, and this is where you will get all your records for the altimeter, the descents, the ascents, and all that. Of course, I don't have any records, so it's in 0. Next one is the stopwatch, and this stopwatch can go up to 24 hours. Next one is the timer. The timer will go up to 1 hour. It has 5 alarms. It has world time, so right now I have it in Tokyo. Tokyo time is this time. This time right here on the screen will be my home time. If I want to change it and swap it, I will press this button and leave it pressed. Then it's gonna swap it. So right now I'm in Tokyo time. Let's say I want to go back to my home time. I'll press the button again. And again the time zones will change. The next mode, it's my receive mode, and this will tell me at what time and what day this watch received the atomic signal. And the last one, it's my home screen again. If you want to adjust anything on the watch, including time, month, year, and all that, I have to pull out the crown. For example, I unscrew the crown, I pull it, and then if I want to change the time zone, let's change the time zone first. I want to go to Chicago time. More. So this is Chicago time. Next, if I want to change hour, minute, I will do it with the smart crown again. Hour, year, and everything else. If I pull out the crown and press the mode button, I can change the DST, the key, auto illumination, the light, duration, format, power mode, power save mode, and the city again. So in this situation, I would like to go back again, and of course this button right here is for the light. The lume on this watch, it's decent. I notice it's not so evenly applied. It has some patches. I don't know if it's this watch in particular, but I think it could be better. The fit and finish, it's okay. The bracelet, it's good. I would say it's very good. The case back, it's pretty interesting and great. The size, it's surprising for this kind of watch. This is the first time we can get this size on a ABC watch, and as you can see, it's good. It's very good. I have a very tiny wrist, and as you can see, it wears almost perfect in my super tiny wrist. The lug to lug distance is not great, but this bracelet is good, so it really feels integrated. It doesn't feel strange. It feels proportional to my wrist. I have very tiny wrist. I think my circumference size of my wrist is 15 centimeters, so it's great. Negatives on this watch, not so many. The bracelet is great, size is great, just the overall feeling of the watch is great. The functionality is amazing. It has fair lume, it has a good auto illumination, it has amazing legibility, but something I would like to see in this watch, instead of a resin case that is painted in gray, I would like to see a titanium case. It doesn't feels out of place so much, especially in some light conditions, but if you really pay attention to it, it might bug you. The transition from this color to this color is not perfect. It's close, but that's up to you. Another thing is the indices. The indices feel a little, I would prefer another material or another finish. I would prefer all polish or all satin, but it has a finish in between that I'm not sure. I don't think too bad about it. I mean, they're applied and they're great. You know, if you notice, the indices are not printed in the dial. They have a three-dimensional setting, so that is great. Another thing I'm not a too fan of is the printing of the Protrek, Casio, and all the rest. Sometimes in some lighting conditions they get lost. Right now on this lighting condition it's okay, but in some other lighting conditions they would appear like they are not there a little bit. So I would like to see those in another color to make a contrast with it. Overall, I think it's a great watch for a great price. It's reliable, has a tough movement, amazing legibility, amazing size, amazing bracelet, amazing case back. Alright guys, well, let me know if you have any comment suggestions. I will leave the link in the description where you can get this watch. And without anything further, I'll catch you in the next one.